This is my watchdog Spot. He's going to guard my Toyota, make sure none of the birds fly over and poop on it. Keep an eye out, buddy. Got that mean, nasty look. Serious look. Say goodbye, YouTube. After months of driving gas-guzzling pickup trucks and SUVs with $100,000 price tags, my gasoline credit cards are starting to max out, so I thought I'd get something a little more practical yet fun. So let's see what we're wheeling out behind the garage door today. This is the 2019 Toyota 86. If it looks familiar, it used to be sold as the Scion FRS before Toyota got rid of the Scion brand. It's also sold as the Subaru BRZ because Subaru had a lot of development time partnering with Toyota to make the car. Actually, Subaru did most of the work, as we'll see if we look under the hood. But first, we'll do a walk around, look at the styling. Nice looking rig. View from the rear. And here's what's under the hood, a Subaru design flat 4. The advantage of flat 4 is they're very low and very wide, perfect for a sports car, but they're honest enough to put Subaru's name on it, along with theirs. If you get the version with the 6-speed manual, you get 205 horsepower, fuel economy of 21 city, 28 on the highway. If you get the automatic 6-speed, as we have here, horsepower drops to 200. The fuel economy jumps up to 24 to 32. Overall, the automatic is 27 average and the manual is 24 average. The base car starts around 26 grand. This is the GT, which has a bunch of cosmetics, like this rear spoiler. 30 grand. There's a TRD racing version. It has a special exhaust, Brembo brakes, beef suspension. That runs around 33 grand. As we do in all of my videos, we take the headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. These are pretty fancy looking. Let's see what they do. It's dark enough. Let's see what these fancy headlights do. Here we have the low beams on the building 100 feet away. Nice and bright. Bit low to the ground. High beam. Good height, good brightness. Here we have the brights on the building 300 feet away. Good widespread, good height. No complaints here. Go low beam. Just barely reaches out, low to the ground, but more than adequate for city driving. High beam more than adequate for anything else. Let's take a little night trip. See how these lights look. You're getting on nice twisty roads out in the middle of nowhere. The beam does a pretty good job reflecting light off road signs. Here we have some about a half mile away. That's high beam. Go to low beam. Still see them pretty good. For cruising on backcountry roads, these are pretty good headlights, especially on high beam. Good thing, because there are a lot of mountain lions out here. You don't want to hit one of those. Makes a big mess. Even the low beam setting's pretty good. Nice to see what's around those tight corners. It's hard to believe, but you actually do get a spare tire, something that's rare in sports cars today. Trunk room is adequate. This is sold as a 2-passenger, 2 in the front and 2 in the rear, but what sort of living creature is going to fit in the rear? Well, not if they have legs. Good for pets and groceries and monkeys. I was happy to see we get a real honest-to-goodness manually operated emergency brake instead of that electronic garbage they're pushing on us nowadays. The glove box has generous room, but only if you take out that thick owner's book. Stick it back in the trunk where it belongs. Climate control is about as simple as it gets. 3 knobs and a couple of buttons on the knobs. Why can't all cars be like this? A nice gauge cluster. Very easy to read. Paddle shifters located on the steering wheel where they belong, not on the steering column like the Italians do where they don't belong. One thing I don't care for, it's been a problem since 2013 when this vehicle came out. The sun visors do fold to the side to block out the sun, but they don't slide back and forth to block out the sun, so you have this big gap here. Not something you want on a hot day. They could fix this at the stroke of a pen. Fix this already. Come on, geez. Especially on a hot day like this, where we're just under 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Yep, a little hot outside. The power steering's nice, quick enough, good feeling feedback, considering it's electric. Can't complain about the cornering capability. True sports car. By the way, you have a sport mode or snow mode, and you can turn the traction control off. Nice to know. Not sure what the track mode is yet. I'll have to do a little research on that. I've driven a lot of these previously, and I found the ride to be reasonably comfortable. On this particular car, I find the ride to be extremely stiff, rough, and not very comfortable. So I figured, well, maybe the tire pressures aren't set right. Nope. Tires are perfect all around. Tire pressures just fine. Then I figured, well, maybe they're adding run flat tires, but looked up the paperwork. That's not the case either. So what's going on here? I don't know. The car's only got like 2,000 miles on it. My suggestion to you, if you're going to buy one of these, do a test drive and see if the ride's soft enough for you. In the meantime, we're going to take some speed bumps, as we do in all my videos, and see what it does. Okay, as we do in all my videos, we're going to take some mild speed bumps, around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Here comes bump number 1. Not too bad. Number 2. Number 3, and the big nasty one. This should be interesting. Felt that one. You know, it's kind of odd. On the street, on rough pavement, I find this ride to be very stiff on this particular car, but on the speed bumps it did quite well, so you never know. Different conditions, different results. Like I said, take a test drive, see what you think. In normal driving, I've been averaging around 27 to 28 miles to the gallon in mixed commuting. But because I got in heavy city traffic, been doing some 0 to 60 runs and driving a little bit on the sporty side, it dropped down to 23.4. We're going to be racking up a lot more miles and doing more fuel economy tests, so don't go away. The car with the 6-speed manual transmission is a little bit quicker than the automatic, but in daily driving you really don't notice the difference. Plus remember, you always have the sport mode. Nice brakes. That exhaust sounds okay when you first get the vehicle, but when you're driving day after day on the highway, hour after hour, it's kind of annoying to have it rattling in your ears, but all a matter of personal preference, I suppose. One thing I've noticed that I didn't see on other previous Toyota 86s, when you have the car in gear, your foot on the brake, you're fine, but if you let off the brake, it wants to take off on you. This will stop around 10 to 11 miles per hour. So when you're stopping at a red light, you might want to make sure you keep your foot on the brake, because if you let it up at all, you could run into the guy in front of you. I should just step out of the car and let it drive down the road by itself. Just a note on this flat 4 engine, there's some auto mechanics that have YouTube channels, and a few of them will tell you to avoid this type of engine because they have a tendency to leak oil or blow head gaskets. Well, sure, if you get 150,000, 200,000 miles on it, it will, but I got news for you. When you got that many miles on a car, it's time to stop being a cheap ass and get a new vehicle. That's my philosophy anyway. Auto mechanic YouTube channels like Scotty Kilmer think that if you start having problems with the car at 150, 200,000 miles, it's no good, and that's just nonsense. There's really no reason this engine should have any issues below 150,000 miles, and that's good enough for me, and I would think it'd be good enough for you. That's my opinion, and that's the way it is. I'm not a cheapskate like Scotty, what can I say? It's a nice cool 103 degrees today. We'll take a little expressway run, see what type of fuel economy we get. The air conditioning unit in this car blows plenty of cold air, but it's not the quietest I've ever had. You'll definitely know when it's working. We'll be averaging around 65 miles per hour on this short jaunt. Wowee, 35.7, can't complain about that. Oop, 35.6, pardon me. Here's a picture of the 2018 Toyota 86 I had last year. It got 32 miles to the gallon on the highway at 75 mile per hour cruising. Here's a picture of the 2016 Scion FRS I drove 3 years ago. The computer showed 32.3 miles to the gallon. And last but not least, here's a 2015 Scion FRS I drove with a manual transmission. It was the best of the lot, 70 mile per hour cruising, 37.2 miles to the gallon. I have a little trip I need to take tonight, so we'll get the camera on and make this our final fuel economy test. We'll be keeping the speed around 70 miles per hour with the cruise control. At freeway speeds, the wind noise on this vehicle is very low, and the suspension and tire noise is rather low if you're on smooth pavement. Get on rough pavement though, you're going to hear a lot of racket coming into the cabin, but we don't have that problem right now. Smooth enough for me at the moment. End of the line, let's pull over and see what the fuel economy computer says. There's our official figure, 37.3, 70 mile per hour cruising. I do think that's the best we're going to see. By the way, you have to use premium blend in this car. We found ourselves some nice smooth pavement, which of course is making the ride very smooth. And it's certainly assisting in handling and cornering ability too. Well, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a nasty forest fire. Oh yeah. That's finally come to the road, and I think we're going to have to turn around. Yep, folks, that's the end of our trip. I get it, I got to turn around. You don't have to tell me twice. So after a week of driving, what's my take on the Toyota 86? It's pretty simple. If you want a European sports car, you'll pay a lot more, get a lot less, and a lot of repair bills once the warranty goes out. Or you can get some of this excellent Japanese engineering, paying less, getting more, and having a vehicle that's going to last after the warranty goes out. The price tag of 27 to 33 grand is pretty reasonable, so don't expect to get a discount down at the local dealer. Almost all these go for sticker price. In the meantime, here's some other performance cars we've driven lately. Just click and watch and subscribe. More viewers the better.